People who broke up and got back together. What happened? Before I went off to my freshman year of college, everyone warned me to stay away from party girls. They'd always tell me stories about how they all had daddy issues and would break my heart for some lines of Coca-Cola. But when I walked into my first frat party and saw the hottest goth girl in my life, I ignored all of the warnings. She was downing Pink Whitney and Jungle Juice like it was water, even finding herself doing some funky version of the cha-cha slide in the middle of the living room. But I couldn't keep my eyes off of her. I honestly thought she could either be my best friend or my soulmate, but I stayed away from her because I saw nearly every guy all over her the whole night. When I went home that night, I dreamed of her and her pretty smile. I was obsessed with the idea of her the entire week after, and I basically searched for her in every crowd. A little creepy, but worth it. The next weekend, I went to another frat party and once again, there she was. She was drinking nearly the entire party's substance supply again. And once again I couldn't keep my eyes off her. I started drinking a little myself, but halfway through the night, I had to drop all of my drinks. The girl stopped dancing and drinking, and now was arguing loudly with some dude. I kept my eyes on them closely, but then I noticed the guy trying to put something in her drink, and I got up right away. As soon as the guy looked away, I snatched the girl away and tried to get some water to freshen up. By the time I got her to settle down, she had vomited down my shirt twice, but I just brought her back to my dorm room and cleaned up her face before taking off her heels and letting her sleep on my bed while I passed out on the floor. I promise I didn't do anything to her. The next morning, I woke up to her literally stepping on my face and rushing to leave. I had to jump up and beg her to stay. I knew it looked bad, so I told her I was helping her. After she calmed down, that's when we actually got to know each other more. She was very adamant about finding out what I knew people were saying about her, and I could tell she was scared of me because of how little she would actually tell me about herself. But I told her not to worry about what everyone else was saying since I wanted to know her for her. She told me she liked me but couldn't handle anything serious. That was fine with me cause I wasn't either since I just got dumped. I actually didn't get dumped but I didn't want to seem too pushy. After that for an entire year we had a friends with benefits situation. We promised no strings attached but it didn't stay that way. What we did have was incredible. It didn't matter where we were on campus. We were humping like bunnies. In between classes, before my sports practice, in bathrooms, after her academic decathlon. It didn't matter when. It was like we were addicted to each other. But then I messed up. One night I had a little too much to drink and she started giving me top. And when I was finishing, I slipped out and I love you to her. She just did it so well. Almost like she had a lot of experience. She literally wiped off any liquid kids she had on her face and walked straight out the door like some movie star. I never saw her again. I never met anyone like her again. She opened me up intimately and destroyed me in a second. After she left I coasted through college very quietly. I graduated, got a job, and moved states to move into a cozy little apartment. I dated some girls who looked eerily like Day, and even called a few of them by her name in the middle of doing it. Safe to say they trashed my apartment and left immediately. I read a lot of self-help books just to better myself and at this point, I had already made my peace that I'd live my life without ever seeing her again. Up until last Monday, when I got a follow request from her. I was so nervous and unsure of doing this again, so I didn't accept it until Wednesday. When I did accept it, she started